Yo, what's up? So I've watched the new episode of Obi-Wan, episode 4, and I've got to say, with only 2 episodes left, this is kind of getting disappointing now. Like last video, I said I liked episode 3, and honestly, that was good, it was entertaining, there was flaws in it that everyone has mentioned by now, and that everyone has brought to the light. But now, episode 4 is probably one of the worst episodes, because there's so many plot holes, so many stupid scenes that you can just nitpick all the way through. Honestly, throughout the whole episode, you could just nitpick from each shot and each sequence. And honestly, it's getting really noticeable that this season is just really cheaply made. And now I know, I don't know if you guys know this, but they were given 90 million to make this show. This is the Obi-Wan show. They had about 150 million to make The Mandalorian. But either way, that is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that The Mandalorian has more money put into it than an Obi-Wan show, that's about the main 2 characters in the whole of Star Wars, is absolutely absurd in my opinion. And the fact that we also know that the writer didn't even watch the 3rd movie of the prequels, Revenge of the Sith, the best Star Wars movie to most people, and it's definitely the most important because it leads into the original trilogy, and it's literally the fall of Anakin Skywalker. I don't need to even say that, you guys know. The writer does not, or he didn't know before he started making this show. He even went as far to say that he was asking one of the people who worked on the Boba Fett show what happens in Revenge of the Sith. I don't remember the name of the person he was speaking to and asking these questions to, but he worked on Boba Fett episode 6 and another episode of Boba Fett, I think the one with the bikes, the worst episode, and he was asking him how Obi-Wan knew that Anakin was Vader and things like that, which I just think is really ridiculous. So over these last couple days I've been busy, haven't been able to make my review. My review after the episode, if I made it right after the episode, would have been much different to how it is now. Because honestly, now I know all this information, and I watched the episode twice, like a lot of other people did. I haven't watched any of the other episodes twice, but I really went back to focus on this one. As it's the 4th episode and we've got 2 more left. A lot happens in it, but at the same time, hardly anything happens in it because it's just him saving Leia again, Obi-Wan saving Leia. And I just think it's so ridiculous how much we were wrong about what's going to happen in this show, because we thought we were going to see a lot of Anakin flashbacks, and it was going to be a lot of Vader, more Vader than we've ever seen, ever in Star Wars. It's meant to be Obi-Wan versus Vader, and it was promoted like that we were going to get Obi-Wan versus Vader throughout the whole show, and just some side characters. Of course there needs to be side characters, but they won't be important. Most of them will most likely be killed off. That's what we thought. But of course, we seem to forget that it's Disney Star Wars, and we're going to have an Inquisitor have more character development and more screen time than the main character in the show, Obi-Wan, who's one of the main characters overall, like I said. Even though Vader's meant to be the main villain of the show, and that is just, I can't say it enough, like it's just ridiculous now. Like it's such a simple story to tell, and no, it's just easy to come up with something that'll be so entertaining for the fans. I'm going to make a whole other video about Disney and their problems with their series and just how they're handling Star Wars overall, especially this Obi-Wan show, obviously, because we're watching this now, so I'm going to be talking about that. There's a lot of problems with this show and everything around it. But let's get back to this episode, because it had some fun moments, like when Vader came in at the end, when Obi-Wan was deflecting the blaster bolts. He held back the window, just like how Kestis did. It's basically Fallen Order, Fallen Order's last mission, especially how he swam up to an opening or a door on the side of the Inquisitor's lair, where of course he can sneak in easily, just like how Kestis did. So it's really not original. I just don't see how a writer can see something from a Star Wars game and incorporate it into their show, thinking the fans won't realise that they were lazy and just couldn't think of another way for Obi-Wan to get into the Inquisitor's lair. Like, there's so many other ways it could have done it, and it doesn't take a genius. You just make something happen that's more entertaining and different from a Star Wars game. This is an Obi-Wan show, and you're taking ideas from a Star Wars game. An amazing one at that. Probably the best story Disney has made so far for Star Wars is Cal Kestis' story in Fallen Order, and then Mando second. Honestly, that story and that game is amazing. But even then, that's like game developers, so it's not really even Disney, so I can't even give them that. Anyway, in this episode, Ewan McGregor's acting is of course phenomenal, like it always is. Damn phenomenal. I don't really say that a lot, but phenomenal nevertheless. And he's overacting for this show, honestly. Unfortunately, this show is meant to be amazing. It's meant to be crazy. It's meant to be next level. But it just feels like it's a fan film. Everything looks cheap. A lot of people have said this. I'm happy it wasn't only me. I felt like this since the start of the season, low key. But of course, it was the start of the season, so I thought it could change. But every shot just looks like it's a fan film. It looks like they're on a tiny set, which they are, basically. Every shot is just, it looks so small, so isolated and compact, when it shouldn't. It's Star Wars, this whole universe, full of crazy worlds, which we got in Revenge of the Sith, which doesn't even have the crazy CGI. Like throughout the whole prequels, we've got crazy cool worlds. And it's really persuaded me at this point that we just need all the actors to go to a blue set, just with straight blue screen, and just make a film like that again. Because it actually worked. Of course, the creator, George Lucas, got that right, made a good decision. Maybe not for the actors, probably wasn't as fun for the actors, just on a blue set, but it really made the atmosphere. But then again, that's not just the set, that's the fact that George Lucas was there, the creator and the idea behind Star Wars. But yeah, it just didn't look right, it didn't feel right, and it's really not leading anywhere. Like, I didn't think Obi-Wan would still be saving Leia from being kidnapped. This is the second time. And plus in the trailers, they showed that it was going to be something about Luke. Like, they didn't show anything about Leia. Like, I don't know why they tried to throw us off with that. That does not make sense. Don't we get us excited for something and then give us something else? Because it could have been alright with Leia. But at the same time, introducing Leia into this show just creates a whole lot of plot holes. And it already has, but it creates a whole lot of plot holes and just many problems for the Star Wars story that George Lucas created, and of course all of us love. So if you tamper with that, we're only going to complain about the show. I hate that we've got Ewan McGregor back and Hayden Christensen, and yet they treat the show like it's not even as important as Mando, who's a new character, by giving the show less budget to work with than The Mandalorian. It's just absurd to me. And they really just don't respect us fans. I really took time to think about this though, because you see my energy in the last couple of episodes that I've reviewed. I'm in high thoughts, but at the same time, I was trying to think real positive. And I was comparing this series to other Star Wars projects that are made by Disney. And that's just not how it is. They all need to reach the standards of George Lucas Star Wars and need to respect it, because Disney just does not respect it. I just really think it's time that Disney needs to think about what they're doing with the Star Wars franchise. Come on, if the sequels did tell you enough and everything around that still has long-lasting effects to this day and has changed the whole atmosphere and respect the general people of this world have for Star Wars, and you still think that you don't need to make a huge change to how you go about Star Wars. But this episode anyway, I've mixed in a rant with this episode review, but I just thought I'd have to get this in. But I just thought I'd let you guys know how I feel. But I just really need to get this off my chest, and I hope you guys can discuss this with me in the comments, or drop your own opinion. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? What do you agree on? What do you disagree with? And just tell me how you feel about the show. I'd love to hear about it. But yeah, this episode is alright. It didn't get us anywhere. It was a cool James Bond type mission. But for now, honestly, I don't know what's going on with this show. I hope the next 2 episodes are going to be amazing to somewhat make this show worth it. Because at the moment, it's just created plot holes and problems with bad writing. The writing's terrible, alright? I've took time to think about this. Like, I've seen many videos, I've heard a lot of opinions, and I just needed to get out of my delusional mindset and forgetting the actual standards that George has set for us as Star Wars fans to expect from Star Wars. We've went through the whole sequels bullshit, so honestly I don't know if we can speak up anymore. Disney just needs to step up and just really think about what they're making, because we love, us as fans, we just love this franchise, and it's done a lot for us. Like, whatever problems you're going through as a kid or whatever, you can escape in this amazing world that George made, with the focus on giving anyone, kids and adults, an escape from whatever problem they had in life, however they felt, and just go into a whole new world. And Disney's just using it as a quick money grab. The continuation of a story of these 2 characters are just used for bringing in more money for them, I guess. They just don't care about the story. They didn't give it a budget. They just said, yo, you guys go make this, and a lot of people are going to expect a lot from it. A lot of people are going to watch it, and we're going to make a lot of money back. Now I think about it, that's probably why they put such a low budget into it, because they knew that they were going to make a whole lot of money back just from the title and the actors and actresses that are in it, especially Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, obviously. And to be honest, it did work. It's the most popular show on Disney Plus, and it cost them hardly anything in terms of Disney money. So I guess it worked. I guess they just took advantage of most people's favourite stories and characters just to make some money off of the title Star Wars. Hopefully the next couple episodes are good. Honestly, this hasn't really been a review. It's just been a rant about Disney, but I've hardly said anything. I want to pick apart the problems with the episodes. I appreciate the actors and what they've done for the whole Star Wars franchise, especially the main ones, but I'm just not gonna lie to myself just because my favourite actors are in the show and I don't really want to talk bad on it. But it's Disney, it's not their fault. We've only seen Hayden standing in one shot so far, and Ewan McGregor's acting has just been too high of a standard for this show and the effort they put into it. So yeah, this episode, I'd give it about a 4 out of 10, honestly. No, I don't think that it's that low. I'd say a 5 out of 10, just because of the acting from Ewan. And everyone else, I think, has good acting. The writing's just terrible. So yeah, that's going to be it. What do you think about the show? I don't know if this is a long video or a short video, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it. My next 2 reviews for the next 2 episodes are going to be a lot more focused and direct. I just felt like I had to get this off my chest in this video. See you on the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave your opinion down below if you agree or disagree with me, or just leave your opinion in general because I want to hear it. I like to hear it. So see you on the next video in a bit.